Hello. Today we're looking at finding minimum and maximum values and processing strings. So finding minimum and maximum values. There are times where it may be necessary to find the minimum and maximum values, whether it be for calculating range of the data or for storing for database purposes. The process to find these values begins with three variables. Maximum, which is a temporary variable that stores the maximum value in the array. Maximum index, which is another temporary variable that stores the index number of the maximum value. Finally, y, which is used to calculate the current position in the array. These variables also apply to the minimum algorithm. This is the pseudocode for the maximum value, where firstly it begins off declaring the aforementioned variables, where maximum is equal to the first value in the spaghetti array. Maximum index is set to 1 and y is set to 1. Then it goes through a loop in which it considers all the values in the array with the use of an if statement, determining if the spaghetti array value is greater than the maximum value, and if it's true, the maximum variable is changed into the spaghetti array value, and maximum index becomes equal to y variable. Then after, y is incremented by 1. Finally, after all the values in the array were considered, it will display the results. This same pseudocode can also be used for finding the minimum values, where instead you are determining if spaghetti value is less than the minimum variable. In this example, we're firstly running the pseudocode. We are going to begin by establishing our starting variable values, where maximum will inherit the value of the first number in the array, where in this example, this is 12. Then both maximum index and y will equal to 1. After that, we go on to our loop, where we determine if the value in the array is greater than the maximum variable. In this case, it is not, so the maximum value will not change, and maximum index will not change either. However, the y will increment by 1 regardless. This repeats for most of the array until you reach 78. Due to 78 being larger than 12, maximum will change to 78, and maximum index will change to the corresponding element, which is 7. This leads to the last part where it displays the results, where in this example, the output is the max value is 78 at element 7. Here are two algorithms for finding the maximum and minimum values in an array, in which both of these are relatively similar. Firstly, the algorithm begins with declaring our global variables and establishing the array values. Then looping through the array with an if statement determining if the y is greater than or less than the array value, and if true, storing the necessary values. Finally, after all the values have been considered in the array, display the results. Here are some C# code examples for finding minimum and maximum values. This is maximum using the spaghetti array. This is minimum using a meatball array. This is the output that is displayed with the console.
So processing strings. So firstly, what is a string? Well, a string is an array of characters to form words or numbers to make a statement. To declare a string within a one-dimensional array, a number of characters should be declared within square brackets. An example of this would be char str for string, underscore word, and then size in square brackets. Within this syntax, the str underscore word is the name that is given to the variable, and the size that is in the square brackets is defined for the number of characters that it will store. To access the inside of an array, square brackets will be needed to be used after the name of the array. This is commonly found with most of the languages in the C family when dealing with a string. An example here will show how to access and print a certain array. So if every character becomes an array in this example of the string boo, it will show the forms of what the array would look like in this table. So if the string is accessed as an array, the pseudocode would look like let string, in quotation marks, boo, and then print string 2. So this will result in the first lowercase of O to be printed in boo. To extract data from a string, some characters will be looking at certain indexes and record data within those indexes. An example of this will be collecting the day, month, and a year, where it is written as 2 Ds, 2 Ms, and 4 Ys. Looking at the index and the values table, it collects the character from indexes 1 and 2, labelled as 2 Ds, and records them as dates and displays them. Then moves to the index of 3 and 4, which is labelled as M and M, and records them as months. After that, it goes to the 5th to the 8th index, labelled as the 4 Ys, and records them as years and displays them. Looking at this algorithm, it extracts data similar to the table from the previous slide, but is only finding the days in the month. This states that both days and the months will only have two characters, the two Ds and the two Ms. So if we were to put a date in, such as the 22nd of August, 2017, it will be written as 22082017. By putting this into a similar table as the last slide, we can see what is being recorded within the value sections. So coding can be defined to remove the first instance of a word from a string. In the first string, I really love chocolate, really has been put in twice to remove the first really to change the string to I really love chocolate. What it is set to do is to access the amount of letters of the string that is being repeated. So in the given example, really is 6 characters long. So it needs to access the first 6 characters. The characters seen from really are being searched in for each, I can't breathe, are being searched in for each index and increases by 1 each search until all the characters are looked at in the index. When the word is found, it removes that word and brings the remaining words together and displays the result to be I really love chocolate. So when concatenating 2 strings together, concatenating is where multiple strings combine to form into one string. So an example of this would be if the 2 strings of Once Upon a Time and another string as the end would turn into Once Upon a Time the end. So to have 2 strings and to have them concatenate strings together, a string can be combined with another string. So when a command is detected in the coding, so if there is an intention to add something within the string, a dedicated character will be present to show that something will be placed there. So within this algorithm, the symbol of the asterisk is declared, which is used as one of the strings. The string in the first saying I asterisk love chocolate, if asterisk was declared to add in the string really, it would then split the 2 sections apart, add in the declared string, and then would change the string to I really love chocolate. In the second example of ducks in boots would be entered and would result to the algorithm not finding the command and stating it when it says the command asterisk cannot be found in your string. Thank you.